For the Zips Digital Network, Chad Welker here with two very special guests in our alumni conversation series. Jessie Crooks and Mandy Holzer from the women's basketball team that played here from 2004 to 2007. I have to have a personal shout out to both of them because we both, or all three of us, all were in the same residence hall freshman year in Bulger Hall. So these two ladies and I go way back, and just really excited to catch up with them. Ladies, welcome, and how are things going for you? Whoever wants to start, how things going with you with this quarantine going on?
Thanks, Chad, for having us. It's been challenging, I would say, just kind of being cooped up in the house. But I took the month off of work to be home with my kids. But normally I'd be working in a surgery center, putting patients to sleep. So I've been kind of out of that game for a little bit. But I am actually going back to work next Tuesday, so I'll be back at it in the hospital setting. So, but for the past month, we've been kind of locked down in the house. So just trying to stay busy, getting outside when it's nice. So,
Mandy, how about you?
Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my husband also has been working from home. So I feel like it hasn't really been that big of a change because we're home all the time. But the fact that we can't leave sucks. Luckily, the weather has been pretty nice, so going out for walks and that stuff. We have a park in our backyard that just got, it was chained up or whatever. They put a fence, but now they opened it back up. So that's been nice, but I honestly feel like I've been living the same day on repeat.
Groundhog Day for sure.
Yeah.
groundhog.
Yep.
Well, I think the first question I've got to ask, and I'm going to start with you, Mandy, especially you being from Minnesota. What was it that brought you to the University of Akron and becoming a student athlete?
Oh, geez. I would say 100% like the people. I remember like my one thing, because coaches, when they recruit you and stuff, they're like, oh, what are you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. And when you're 17, you're like, I don't know. But like my thing was like surround myself with good people. And the coaches at the time I thought were great. And I think at the time, Crooks, remember Coach Prevost? Is that his name?
Yes, I do. He was part of the reason. Yeah.
I like that dude. He was an assistant coach for the Minnesota Gophers basketball. So there was a little tie there. But I went on my official visit, and Crooks wasn't there. Neither was Mary, who ended up being my best friends. But everyone, I mean, it was just.
Oh my gosh. The visits are where it's at. That was, yeah. I mean, that's where we met the girls. We, can tell right then and there, like, are you with them? Are they there? Are they your type of people? Or is this going to be something that's, because it's not always just about the sport. You know what I mean? You wanted to meet the coaches and know that, that you're going to be taken care of. And I feel like they really made you feel special.
Well, and Jessie, for you, I mean, you're local, just from Independence. So there had to be the home advantage for you to really come back just down the road from 77.
Absolutely. I mean, when the whole like recruiting thing started and, you're thinking about college and you want to play, and then, you get, talked to by people from Akron, thinking they're literally 30 minutes down the road. That was a huge, huge plus for me because all of my family is in Independence. And knowing that they could, my parents never missed a school game. I don't think they even missed a college game, to be honest with you. And the one time I didn't see my parents at the game. Do you remember that, Mandy? Before
my
the
sister
game.
was at that game. Yeah, he fell and broke his arm.
Yeah, I'm like, something's wrong. Like, they're not here. We were warming up. I'm like, something's wrong. My dad was an Akron general. He slipped on the ice and broke his arm.
Gosh darn it, Jess.
I know, it was crazy, but yeah, just knowing that they could be at the games, you know, and that's something that they like to do, you know, knowing that there would be support was a huge advantage. Like I said, on top of, you know, the coaches really made us feel wanted and welcome, and that kind of like, don't you agree, Mandy, like that we could help turn the program around. That's kind of what the whole theme of
that was like her pitch.
Right.
My mom, she's been going through a bunch of boxes, and she gave me, my mom was like so organized. She saved like every letter they wrote, and you remember getting the letters from them, like, oh, how's it going, blah blah blah.
Right.
But like, yeah, I mean, the recruiting process is like, they were really good, I felt.
So,
yeah, and I agree. Like we were 17, you know, we were babies. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what you're getting into, but you know what, when you meet people that, you know, we both were raised in a way that, like, you know, surround yourself with good people, and when, you know, we just felt that, you know, at Akron. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
was there anything about the facilities that kind of was a standout for you guys to come down? I mean, I want to kind of put your take on a recruiting pitch to help out Coach Jackson if she would ever need. You know, why Akron? What was so special about Akron? Give me your best recruiting pitch to maybe a future women's basketball player.
Ooh, you want to go
Crooks, you
first?
do that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you cannot even compare, and you can't beat the state of the art field house that we have. The jar, I remember walking for the first time and just being in absolute awe, you know, just a huge gym, just knowing that, you know, the stand would be filled. And I feel like all the amenities of the field house, the weight room, you know, the tracks, everything that they, you know, they can offer a Division I athlete, they had for us, like at our fingertips. Not to mention the rec center, that when we weren't working out for basketball, we could go and shoot hoops there, or just go on ellipticals there, take a yoga class, you know. There's everything that you need there, you know. And coming from, you know, a smaller high school, and Mandy too, like, you know, like going to something like that and everything being right at your fingertips it's everything you could want. And not being at a school that's like Ohio State, where it's like, you know, overly huge, you know, you still can get to know a lot of the people on the campus, a lot of the athletes. That was a plus for me too, knowing that, you know, you're not going to get swallowed, you know, you matter as a women's basketball player, you know, you're not like at a bigger school where just football matters or just basketball matters, men's basketball particularly, you know. Women's basketball had made a mark, you know, and we were important. So that's the vibe I got. And a lot of all the amenities there, you just can't beat.
Mandy, how
And
about
so
you?
much has changed now too. I mean, Crooks, we went there after your wedding. I just wanted to show my husband the campus, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so much has changed. And you know, these they built new dorms, and it's like beautiful.
Right. And the football stadium, that wasn't there on campus. There, like, I mean, the center of tailgating and going to games, and, you know, and camaraderie, and being able to just congregate right on campus like that wasn't there when we were there, you know. So you know, we still rally and go out to the Rubber Bowl, but, like, you know, that's a cool advantage that newer athletes would have right now, to have that right in the center of campus.
Mm-hmm. And from an out-of-stater, I really liked that there was tons of other athletes from all over. I mean, our team, especially like freshman year and stuff, we were from all over. So it was nice to, you know, have that common thread, and you're not the only one. And
Right. That's true.
Now, how about I know one of the things that was talked about a lot the past year with a lot of our student athletes currently is, and Jesse, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but the connection you had with other athletes. You have some stories that you could share with maybe some other student athletes from other sports that you really enjoyed and met over the time that you spent here at Akron?
Well, I can say, look at Marco and Mackie. That's like got to be our pride and joy. Like, uh, those two, hanging out with the football guys all the time. And, I would say what the football guys were our main people we hung out with.
Totally.
And Tim and Hutch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what street was that over there that we always used to go to? Mackie and Jim Holly, right? And who else were
Oh
those?
God.
What other-
Alan?
Who?
Alan?
Oh,
Alan
yeah,
Street?
Alan.
I don't know. That was a fun house.
That was. Um, yeah, so I would say, just some of those memories of hanging out with those guys and um, and I feel like, the men's basketball team we would kind of just chum around with, but not
Yeah.
like really go out with and stuff.
No.
It was more of like a business thing with them. Mandy, do you remember Tiger?
Hell yeah, I remember Tiger.
Where is that guy? Come on, the janitor.
Oh yeah, no, he's not there with us anymore.
Really? Every time he'd see us, he'd go in the hallways. He'd go, hey, Tiger. And let me tell you, Chad, that has stuck. We still call each other Tiger.
He loved you, and he loved that you were Tiger.
Tiger, hey, Tiger, all the time. Me, Mandy, and Rachel Green. We still call each other Tiger to this day because of him. So shout out to him if you ever find him, or if anyone ever finds him. Give him my number. I give you permission. Anyone out there on the internet, give him my number and have him text me, because he was a face in the jar that was always like a reassuring.
Yeah.
Remember that? Oh my God.
Oh, I loved him. He was awesome.
Loved it.
All right, so next question I'm going to ask you is, what was one of your fondest moments on the court? Jesse, I've got one for you, but I'm going to see if it matches what might be one of your best moments in an Akron uniform.
I for sure remember was I a sophomore? I think I was a sophomore. And we were playing with Miami of Ohio at home. Yes? Okay. And oh my gosh, there had to have been seconds left, and it was an out of bounds play. And I'll never forget this because we were playing Miami of Ohio. All my family's there from Independence, and all of Colleen Day's family's there from Miami of Ohio. Like, not really rivals growing up, because she went to, I think, Holy Name maybe. And so we never played each other, but we just knew of each other. All of her siblings sitting in the stands, and I hit a 3 to win the game. Never forget it, because I just remember, like, I used to jaw with her little brother, Tommy Day, and hit a 3 to win the game. And I'll never forget that. And it was awesome. And it was like, after the game, like, our families and like their family just like, oh, like local kids playing. And
Mandy, how about you?
I don't really have like a certain like play or whatnot, but I mean, I guess maybe just being a freshman, first game and starting, I would say like that was always like the goal and, a good accomplishment.
Yeah. Freshman starter, baby.
Yep, absolutely. I remember, Jesse, that was the exact one that I was going to use, because I remember being a play-by-play, or I was an intern with Tommy G sitting next to me, calling that, yeah, and calling him, and I was cheering, and I may have to tell you the story that he had for me years later,
Uh-oh.
once we get done with this, but it's actually
Okay,
pretty
okay.
funny.
I
Um,
gotta hear it. Yeah.
for Chad Wilker and the Zips Digital Network, again, thanks to Mandy Holzer and Jesse Crooks who have kids and are doing the parenting thing and
Oh yeah.
working. And Jesse's one of those folks that are on the front lines. We thank you for doing what you've done over this COVID-19 thing as well. So appreciate you guys coming with us. And
Of
then
course.
Zips fans, we'll
Thanks for having
talk to
me.
some more alums down the road. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Zips.
That was it.
That